What is going on, boys? It's your boy the SLAP Train. So today we have the drift tutorial, episode number 1. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this, and I do apologize for the wait. I figured I'd show you guys my setup and my upgrades for my Ford Mustang. And I guess one quick thing, this right here is great to do to learn how to just keep control of angle and how to react to your car sliding. We're going to get a little bit more into that a little bit after. But we're just going to go straight from the basics, so that way if you guys want to build the same car, by all means you can. And I'm going to be grabbing the 2005 Ford Mustang GT. You can get whatever color you like, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I mean the basics really, I'm not really a good teacher, I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't really know a lot about the actual tuning setup. So if you guys have any questions about the tunings, don't really have an answer for you. It's just stuff that I've done over the past that I know that I like and I feel comfortable with when I am driving. One thing, I don't really use a lot of the turbos. They kind of have a little bit of lag. I like to stick to the superchargers, and it sounds a lot more sexier as well too. So the body aerodynamics is completely up to you. When you are running FMDL though, you don't run the Forza front bumper though. So just a heads up on that. I wouldn't get used to running that bumper. I sometimes run with the spoiler depending. I really don't touch the actual aerodynamics at all, so you don't really have to worry about that either. Again, now this is just my actual preferences when I drift, so I don't want no hate on this video saying, oh, he's doing this and this and that, when really it's my setup. This is just how I drift, and if you guys can take a few pointers away from this, then that's awesome. That's what I want. So again, the rims, I don't really look for weight. I just look for, I guess, whatever looks good on the car. You have to have street tires on, or sorry, I always upgrade the rears to the max, the front tires 1 up, and I always go with the sport tire compound. You do not use race, you use sport tire because of the way that it affects the lobbies. So if you are running race tires, everyone else has more grip, and it's not a good look for everybody else. Everyone complains because you can feel it. So stick to sport. It'll be a lot better, and you'll get a lot better at drifting because you don't have so much grip. I usually do not put a roll cage in my car. I always just upgrade to the first one. And same with the weight reduction. I keep both seats in and just do stage 2. Again, just my preference. I know lighter's better, but I just don't like to have the look at the roll cage and missing a seat, you know. So in terms of the horsepower and stuff like that, I tend to upgrade the supercharger fully and then go from there. Usually tend to stick to under 650 horsepower within the car. It's just a rule of thumb, really. You don't really need anything more than that. It just gets out of hand. So 650 is pretty much a rule of thumb for any kind of horsepower that you can actually work with. So let's get into the tuning setups here. I don't stray too far from the tire pressures. I usually go 28, 27. Now again, this is completely up to you. You can tweak it if you feel like it. In terms of the actual gearing, I usually leave them alone, and I don't really touch the gears because the stock gears actually have pretty decent lengths to them. So if I have to, I will, but I usually don't. The roll bars and the springs and stuff like that, I usually just mark them down a little bit so that way the rears are slightly a bit stiffer. Always slam it to the ground. Again, same concept for the dampering. The braking, I go more to the front, and then the other one to the farther half. The differential is always at 100% on both front and back. And yeah, so let's have a little bit of a drift run here. Again, this is exactly the same tune as I just showed you guys in the video. So let's see. So one of the main things that you have to learn about drifting, again, I'm not a good teacher, but I try my best for you guys, is starting your line properly. Now that's probably the biggest thing. If you don't start your line properly, it's just going to go downhill the whole way. So when you are drifting, there's 2 different ways really that you can initiate the drift. One is your standard, just yank the e-brake, hold left, and the car will slide. So right here I yank the e-brake, hold the car to the left of the wheel, and then I just counter steered, and that's how it came. So that is one way of actually starting your drift. The second way is kind of by your own momentum. So if you are driving, you rock to the right and then the left, and the car swings because of the actual force that you are like pushing against the other side. So that is another way to initiate the drift. And right here again, I use the car's momentum, bring it back out, and the car keeps sliding. So the main thing is you want to keep the car sliding throughout the whole way if it's possible, right? So say that if you are coming up and you don't have enough room, or maybe you've noticed that your drifts isn't quite right, hold that e-brake. You can tell when I'm holding the e-brake because it's on the left hand side, it's the green bar. You can use the e-brake to slide. So I probably do it again up at this next corner where I notice maybe I'm going a little bit too hard. I will yank the e-brake so I can slide it right there. You can tell by the actual tires stop really squealing, and you just let it go. And once you find that sweet spot when you're drifting, you can just yank that gas all day and just counter steer and you'll be alright. So again, here it is. I don't use a lot of braking when I'm drifting, as well as I don't use a lot of the e-brake. Only when I have to be able to get into the sliding area where I need to correct myself. So if you do your drifts properly, you really don't need to use the e-brake. As you can see right here, I'm running all these corners without e-brake. So this is, I guess, an example of running a perfect drift, is that you don't need your e-brake. Now sometimes you have to use it regardless to slow yourself down. Like at this corner, you usually always do, just to yank that to get it to slide a little bit, and then you'll be fine. So one of the biggest things, I don't run manual with clutch, so keep that in mind as well too. It's just a style that I don't do while I'm on the controller. I usually just run just with the clutch. Again, my personal settings and my personal thoughts. So when I am doing my suspension though, I tend to try and keep everything in the green. When you look at the bars, if it goes into the red, I don't really know. I think that's kind of bad, to be honest with you. So I try to keep everything in the green, so whenever you are drifting, it doesn't really affect anything else. But again, like I said, I don't know too much about the tuning, so that's going to have to be someone else can comment and explain the tuning on the suspension and why it stays in the green and stuff like that. So if you guys do know, throw it in the comments. I'd love to know. But yeah, so this is episode 1. As I said, this is my actual drifting style. I will be coming out with episode 2 with a more in-depth tutorial on more advanced tips, clutch kicks, how to tandem properly and stuff like that. So thank you guys very much for watching. It's your boy the SLAPTrain. I'll be making episode 2 very soon for you guys. And if you guys have liked the video, throw a thumbs up and a subscribe. And I'll be throwing this tune on my storefront as well too. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'm out. Peace.